So, what's your name, and can I get a little bit about you?
My name's Caleb Maseman. I've been homeless in Titusville. This is my hometown. I'm 32 years old. My birthday is May 23rd, 1989. I've been here my whole life. I've done a lot of bad things in this town. I've done a lot of good things in this town. You know, I've been homeless now 13 long years. Went through a lot of trouble as a kid and everything. Drugs, sexual abuse, all sorts of stuff. Hurt my family, I've hurt my friends, I've lost a lot of people because of being homeless. So it's something that's been very difficult, and the past year's been rough. I lost my father last year, and I've been losing my grandparents, you know, for the past few years, so it's been difficult, but there's a lot of new people moving into town that have been homeless. I guess they're getting chased out, and it's made life real hard for me. So recently I've been looking for jobs and stuff, and the reason I'm homeless, drug abuse. I was addicted to heroin, crack cocaine, methamphetamine, Molly, which is MDMA, ecstasy, pills. From oxys to roxys to morphine to methadone. I've been addicted to a lot of different drugs, and up until the past year, I was addicted to them, and that was the main reason I was homeless. Well, I've been cleaning my life up, you know. I've quit doing hard drugs. I don't even smoke weed anymore. I haven't drank in 5 years. And it's tough out here. It really sucks, especially when it's cold and it gets wet. So I'm turning my life around, trying to turn my life to God. He's been there for me, even when I thought he wasn't. And he's been a big part of my life recently. And I'm alive because of him. I've done a lot of struggling over my life, and I'm tired of struggling. And this town can use more help for the homeless. There's no shelter for when it gets slightly cold. There's only a shelter for if it gets freezing cold, which is suffering. There could be more programs to help the homeless get back on their feet. I'm bipolar, and I have mild schizophrenia, so it's difficult for me because it's hard for me to go into public places where they're like doctor's offices, and libraries, and grocery stores, and all that right there. And it's difficult for me to go job searching because I'm in these public places. So that's why I haven't got a job yet. Now, I'm not saying I'm completely unhelpful because there is hope for me. I'm a good hard worker, and I love doing things to make money and help the environment and all that. I'm a professional gardener. I've done professional gardening for my whole life. Since I was able to start working, that's the one thing I did. And everybody's always telling me to get a job and all this right here, but frankly, it's difficult for someone like me because I don't take medication. It's not that I can't afford the medication because there's programs that would help me afford the medication. It's that the medication has side effects that I can't mentally handle. And whenever I do get real solid jobs, my mental problems end up making me have what's called meltdowns or outbursts where I freak out because they're picking on me or something stupid. I know it seems meaningless for a lot of people because, you know, words don't really hurt you, but when you're suffering from the diseases that I have mentally, they really do hurt, and they really do cause problems in my life. And I'm still homeless because of it. I'm struggling every day just to get a few dollars just to eat.
Right.
And because of the things I've done in this town and because of how long I've been homeless in this town, everybody sees me, everybody knows me, nobody wants to help me all the time. They all want to see me succeed and get a job and everything, and they don't understand why I can't do it. Well, I tell them all the same thing. My mental diseases, they make it very hard for me to be able to sustain jobs.
Right.
It's very hard for me to be able to get jobs. It's hard for me to ride the bus just to get somewhere so I can go panhandling. And the laws against panhandling, that they're starting to tighten up and everything. A lot of my friends have gone to jail, and they'll be in jail for a long time because of panhandling and things that they've had to do to survive being homeless.
All right.
So that about wraps up my life in a nutshell. I mean, I can go on for hours.
Right.
I'm sure we don't really have hours.
Yeah.
But is there any questions you'd have?
Just how's today been for you?
Well, I woke up and I managed to get me enough money to get something to eat. And you had seen me standing on the corner. I was trying to get some lunch money. And last night, everything I owned got a little bit damp and it was kind of chilly. So trying to get not only food money, I'm trying to get money to do my laundry and stuff so I can have warm clothes to wear tonight in case it does get cold.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really have a solid way of telling what the weather's going to be like. Like, my phone runs on Wi-Fi because when I was a junkie, every phone I would get, I would always pawn it so that way I can get drugs. Anything I had that was worth money, I would always be selling it at the pawn shop or selling it to somebody to get drugs. But now that I've turned my life around, I'm afraid to even get a phone that's worth anything. So I got a cheap phone that runs on Wi-Fi and I have no minutes for it. So I barely am able to get a hold of my mom, which is the only person down here that I have that I'm related to besides my brother. But they're too busy up in their lifestyle and their lives to really have to look out for me anymore ever since my dad died. So today's been rough for me. It's been 6 months. Yesterday was 6 months since my dad died, and I do nothing but think about my dad and hope my mom's going to be all right. And I've been real depressed recently because I wish I could do better with my life, and I wish I would have done different in my life. So that way I'd be able to make my family happy as well as myself.
Is that a typical day for you, or how does a typical day go?
Typically, well, I panhandle every day for food. And if I'm blessed enough to be able to get money early on, then I go out and I try and find small jobs that I can do, like working in people's yards and stuff like that. There, the past few weeks, I haven't been able to get no work, so I've been panhandling every day. Ever since COVID hit, I've really had no work because COVID, everybody's afraid of everything.
Right.
I myself, I haven't been vaccinated because I don't trust the vaccines. I think that the whole thing of COVID was actually done to weed out homeless people and lesser fortunate people and people that don't make as much money as the upper class. So on a normal, typical day, I'm out in the sun nonstop and trying to find work and trying to get money for food. I do this every day. It's a boring, meaningless process, but it means something to me because I get to eat and I get to have that little bit of a luxury that not a lot of people really understand is a luxury for somebody if you ain't got it.
Right. So. Is looking for jobs the only thing that you do when you have some free time?
No, I mean, I love fishing, going on walks in parks and stuff like that right there. I love drawing. I'm not really good at it, but I spend a lot of times making my signs. And it's not just writing something on the sign to make me money. It's making the sign, but what the sign says really doesn't mean much to me. It's what I'm putting into the sign. Like, I draw crosses on them, and I draw images of flowers and stuff like that there. Stuff that would relax me and all that right there. And I would hope bring the person who is possibly going to help me out to know a little bit about me and know a little bit about the struggles that I've gone through. Also, I sew. I do a lot of arts and crafts. I wrap bottles. I wrap jewelry and stuff like that right there, and I try to sell them online, but I never can sell them, so I end up selling them for $2 or $3 at gas stations and stuff like that. Like, imagining ways to better myself is probably more of a how I should say that, because every day I'm trying to find something else to do to better myself and to show people that I've done better with myself and trying to prove to people I'm trying to change.
Okay. Is there anything you want to say to close?
Let's see. To any of my family that see this, I love y'all. Really am trying. To any of my friends that I still have, if I still have any, I'm trying. If you're gonna be homeless or you're young and you're watching this and you don't really care about what your parents say, you just want to do your own thing, you don't really care, and you're willing to throw your life away, don't. Stay in school. Get that done. I dropped out at a young age, and since I dropped out, my life went downhill fast, and it was a continuous downhill slope. I'm 32 now. It has been a struggle for the past 18 years of my life. Don't do it. It is not a struggle you want to go through. You will get in trouble with the law at some point in time if you decide to go on the path that I went on. It's inevitable. It's better to just go ahead, stick in school, get it done with, and then get a job. Because if I could change something in my life, I would have stayed in school and I would have got a job. Because then I wouldn't have to do what I'm doing right now. And I'd be able to give to people the way I want to give to people. So, I mean, I don't really know what much else to say. Except for I wish hope to all those who think they're hopeless.
All right. Well, thank you.